ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCON Burla official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss 21st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, in which there is conversation between Manu and Kardama. This Manu is the first Manu, that is Swayambhuva Manu. So, in text 1 to 5, Vidura asks different questions about Swayambhuva Manu and his dynasty. So, he has already described how he performed tapasya and created 2 sons and 3 daughters. Eldest one is Priyavrata and the younger one is Uttanpad. Then 3 daughters are Akuti, Devavati and Prasuti. All these things are already been described. So, in this context, the Kardama Muni, he is the son of Brahma. He is also doing austerity, tapasya, for creating progeny. It is stated that he did this austerity for a period of 10,000 years. So much austerity. So he pleases Lord with the tapasya. So, Bhaktaram Jagya Tapasa, Bhagavad Gita, Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, he is the enjoyer of our tapasya. He enjoys when we are in misery, or we are in, actually it is not misery, we are also getting happiness or getting a divine pleasure, but apparently it is a very troublesome, very difficult, but actually it is a real pleasure, real bliss, and the Lord is also pleased with that. So in 6 to 8, Maitreya says about Kardama's tapasya. He did it for 10,000 years, and Lord appeared. So in text 9 it is said that Kardama Muni saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How did he see him? Who is free from material contamination in his eternal form, effulgent like the sun. Divi Surya Sahasrasa Bhavet Jugabhaduttita. In Bhagavad Gita 11th chapter, also Sanjay says like that. Wearing a garland of white lotuses and water lilies, the Lord was clad in spotless yellow silk, Pitavasa. And his lotus face was fringed with sleek dark locks of curly hair. Kunchita Kesa, the Lord's is having so beautiful. And in next verse, text 10, it is stated that adorned with a crown and earrings, he held his characteristic conch, disc, and mace in 3 of his hands, and a white lily in the 4 hands. So sometimes he wears this Padma, lotus. Here it is stated that it is lily, white lily. He glanced about in a happy, smiling mood, whose sight captivates the hearts of all devotees. So, in text 13 to 22, these 10 verses, Kardama prayed to the Lord. That is described. So, in text 15, Kardama says, desiring to marry a girl of a like disposition, who may prove to be a veritable cow of plenty in my married life, to satisfy my lustful desire, I too have sought the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the source of everything, for you are like a desire tree. Without any duplicity, he said, his intention. Of course, Brahma ordered him to create progeny. For that, he is doing austerity. So, he need a wife to create progeny. So, he frankly said that. So, in text 17, it is said, लोकांस लोकानुगतान् पशुंश्च हित्वा श्रितास्ते चरणातपत्रम् परस्परं तद् गुणवादसिद्धो पीयूष निर्यापितदेहधर्मः. However, persons who have given up stereotyped worldly affairs and the beastly followers of these affairs, and who have taken shelter of the umbrella of your lotus feet by drinking the intoxicating nectar of your qualities and activities in discussions with one another, can be freed from the primary necessities of the material body. Otherwise, they cannot go beyond these material necessities. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada Maharaj says, the principles of animal life, eating, sleeping, mating and defending, are actually necessities of the body. But those who engage in transcendental Krishna consciousness, giving up all the stereotyped activities of this material world, are freed from social conventions. So, Lord is pleased. Already he is pleased, but with his words also, Kardama pleased the Lord. So the Lord said to Kardama, text 25, the Lord said, the Emperor Swayambhu Manu, the son of Lord Brahma, who is well known for his righteous acts, but has his seat in Brahmavarta and rules over the earth with its 7 oceans. So these 7 oceans means it will be described in 5th canto. There are 7 islands, 7 deepa, and corresponding to each deepa there is 1 ocean. 7 ocean, ocean of milk, ocean of sweet water, ocean of salt water, ocean of ghee, ocean of yogurt, like that. Candy ocean, candy juice. 7 oceans are there. So, text 31, the Lord said to Kardama, Krutva dayam cha jivesu tattva chabhayam atmavan mayi atmanam saha jagat drakhyasi atmani chapima. Showing compassion to all living entities, you will attain self-realization, giving assurance of safety to all. You will perceive your own self as well as all the universes in me and myself in you. The purport of Prabhupada Maharaj says, the simple process of self-realization for every living entity is described here. So in text 32, it is said that, O great sage, I shall manifest my own plenary person through your wife, Devhuti, along with your 9 daughters, and I shall instruct her in the system of philosophy that deals with the ultimate principles of categories, Sankhya Yoga. The Lord said, I will come as your son. So the Lord knows anything, everything. So in 33 to 37, these 4 verses, Lord leaves and Manu arrives. Day after tomorrow, the Manu arrived. As per saying of the Lord. So in 38 to 44, the 7 verses, there is description of the hermitage of Kardamani. Tapobala, Tapasya. Look. The holy lake Bindu Sarovar, flooded by the waters of the river Saraswati, was resorted to by the hosts of eminent sages. Its holy water was not only auspicious but as sweet as nectar. It was called Bindu Sarovar because drops of tears had fallen there from the eyes of the Lord. You see, the Lord cried, seeing the austerity of Kardamuni, who was overwhelmed by extreme compassion for the sage who had sought his protection. So, in 45 to 49, Kardama received Manu, it is described, entering that most sacred spot with his daughter, that is Devhuti, and going near the sage, the first monarch Swayambhu Manu saw the sage sitting in his hermitage, having just propitiated the sacred fire by pouring oblations into it. His body shone most brilliantly, though he had engaged in austere penances for a long time, 10,000 years. And he was not emaciated, but the Lord had cast his affectionate sidelong glances upon him, and he had also had the nectar flowing from the moon-like words of the Lord. Nectar of and the sage was tall, his eyes were large, like the petals of a lotus, and he had matted locks on his head. He was clad in rags. Swayambhu Manu approached and saw him to be somewhat soiled like an unpolished gem. So Kardamani spoke to Manu Maharaj. He said, if you didn't mount your victorious jeweled chariot, whose mere presence threatens culprits, if you didn't produce fire sounds by the twanging of your bow, and if you didn't roam about the world like the brilliant sun, leading a huge army whose trampling feet causes the globe of the earth to tremble, then all the moral laws governing the varnas and ashramas created by the Lord himself would be broken by the rogues and rascals. There is necessity of this rule, punishment. Anyway, and this we will see further discussion between Manu and Kardama. Next chapter, 22nd chapter. Manu will give his daughter Devoti in marriage to this Kardamani. We will hear. And thank you very much for listening to this chapter 21st. And please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our channel and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.